Hey guys, it's Sarah. So, about books. Don't be shocked. I'm not even gonna like give a preface of like, what's going on, here's a book haul. Like, this is my new prized possession. Wait for it.
You're a wizard, Harry. I'm a what?
Yes. Take it all in. Harry Potter hardcover box set. This bad boy was on sale on Amazon from a third seller party, and I had a gift certificate from some credit card points that I had, so I bought it. It was really cheap. I guess you could say life's going good. So yeah, I guess I'll just show you the rest of the books now that we've got that out of the way. But next here I have Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare, North America edition. Oh, look at that. Runes. I haven't read this yet. This is the second book in the Dark Artifices series. I didn't get the UK edition. Like, I have two Lady Midnights here. There's the UK and the normal. I didn't get the UK Waterstone edition because it was like $50. And I like it, but I don't like it that much. So the next two books were sent to me from publishers, and the first one is an arc of Missing by Kelly Armstrong, and I've actually read this book and I need to do a review for it. It's a standalone, young adult, sort of paranormal, sort of contemporary thriller story about a girl who lives in a shitty town in the middle of nowhere, and she's like saving all her money to leave town forever, and she stumbles upon a mystery of missing kids who run away and never come back, and it's like, did they run off to the big city or are they dead? I really liked this book. I'd give it like a 3.5, 3.7. It was entertaining. Then also from the publisher, I was sent the coolest book ever. Ta-da! The Spectacular Sisterhood of Superwomen. Awesome female characters from comic book history by Hope Nicholson. When I requested this, I thought I was gonna get like an arc, but I got like an actual finished copy, which is so cool. And it has like this plastic cover that comes off. And then what is left is this totally beautiful cover. Little Lulu. I was obsessed with Little Lulu as a kid. But yeah, so essentially this book is just all about various female comic book characters throughout history and just like highlighting how badass they were, and I'm so pumped on this book. Next year I have Passenger by Alexandra Bracken, and I actually found this at a local used bookstore, and I was like, oh well, I need to purchase that because it was like $4. So I bought it, and I know this is kind of like a controversial book. Like, some people love it and some people hate it. If you've read this, tell me in the comments down below what you thought of it. Next year, I got the coolest book in the world, but that is The X-Files Origins Agent of Chaos by Cami Garcia. This is a young adult book all about Agent Mulder from the X-Files. There are two books right now, so one about Mulder and one about Scully, and it's just like them as teenagers. And this takes place after Fox's sister gets kidnapped. That's not even a spoiler. It's like they explain that in the first episode of X-Files. But can you see? There's like the embossed X secret. Trust no one. I love it. I'm just rewatching the first season of X-Files, so this is gonna totes get me in the mood. What? This is weird. Okay, so there's like stripes down the pages of some of them. Maybe just that one, but it's like stuff they don't want you to read because it's not it. Next year I got Coraline by Neil Gaiman, and this is the 10th anniversary edition. I got this at my local used bookstore as well, so I was able to get this really awesome edition for really inexpensive, and I just really like Chris Riddell's illustrations. Coraline was one of my like fave books as a child, and I liked the movie. I saw it and I was like, I should have this for old times' sake, and maybe I will reread it one day. So I have it now. Next here I have Crimson Peak, screenplay by Guillermo del Toro and Matthew Robbins, and it's novelized by Nancy Holder. Okay, I never, ever buy mass market paperbacks. Ever, ever. I hate them with a passion. I dislike them. I think they're ugly, but this book literally only comes as a mass market paperback or an ebook, but the ebook is more expensive than the mass market paperback. So I watched Crimson Peak for the first time recently, and I saw it and I was entranced. I fell in love. I was like, oh, I love this. Maybe there's a novelization because I just want to get in this world, because if you haven't seen it and you like gorgeous over-the-top costumes with like horror mixed in, like go watch it. Like just the visual cinematography and the costumes and just like visually the movie is stunning and the story is really good. I loved Crimson Peak. So I was like, I need to buy the book. Like, I need to. So I had to buy the mass market paperback because it was the only way you could buy it. It's rated awesome on Goodreads. I'm pretty sure it's over a 4.0 on the Goodreads like 5 rating scale. And apparently it's just like a really good novelization that really captures the essence of the movie. So I'm really excited to read this kind of closer to Halloween and just like super get in the mood. Okay, so next here we have Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This edition is gorgeous. I bought it on Aid Books, but Rebecca is a classic novel about a woman who marries a guy and he's still hung up on his ex-wife that died named Rebecca. And this edition is the Virago, Virago Modern Classics, and I really like these editions of books. I would like to collect more of them. I'm pretty sure I might get the Enchanted April in this edition as well. Okay, so speaking of creepy and horror-ish and classics and beautiful, that's backwards. Complete Tales and Poems of Edgar Allan Poe. And you're like, that looks mediocre at best. Look at that weird blah thing. But no, papaya. Okay, seriously, this book is beautiful. I bought it on Amazon because I've been meaning to buy it for like 3 years and I was finally like, I have a job again. Must buy. This is just literally all of Poe's things. I have the little note on the Fall of the House of Usher because that's the one I want to read next. But yeah, so it's just a big old folio. So next here we have Paper Princess by Erin Watt, and this is the first book in the Royals series. And I found this in my used bookstore for like $4 again. I've been wanting to read it for a while because apparently it's a new adult book about a girl who is an orphan, I believe, and then she gets adopted or taken in by this like really rich family. It's like the dad takes her in and all of his 5 sons are huge douches. And they're all like, you don't belong here, you peasant. And then she's all like, help, help, I'm being oppressed. I'm assuming she falls in love with one or multiple. Yeah, so she lives in a mansion with 5 sons and stuff happens. I don't know. I've heard it's good though. Also from said used bookstore, I have purchased Shimmer by Paula Weston. This is the 3rd book in the Refame series. There's 4 books. I've been slowly collecting them. I read the first book on the recommendation of Casey over at Casey Ann Books. It was awesome, and then I was like, oh, I need to finish this series, and then it just kind of like fell off my radar. I got the second one from Book Outlet, and this one was just sitting there. It's not the greatest quality, like the spine is broken and stuff, but I was like, for $4, 4 Canadian loonies, I can part with that for this. So I just need to get the 4th book, and then I think I'm gonna have to reread the first book and then read the rest of the series. Paranormal romance about angels. It's set in Australia. Also from the bookstore, I get Stuff Brits Like, a guide to what's great about Great Britain by Fraser McAlpine. This is like one of those just like books you read once and you're like, haha, this is funny, and then you never read it again. But it was like, this one was $5, so I was like splurged a little bit. Apparently this book is just like a hilarious book about funny little Britishisms. Things of the British. Next here we have Uncle Silas by Sheridan Leigh Fanu, and this is one of those horror classics that I was talking about earlier. This is just like one of those really good horror novels that like you can read as a contemporary reader, and it's not like, what is this old-timey nonsense? Like, I'm gonna be real, I totally am not 100% sure about like what this book is about. But yeah, it's about a lady who is in a horror novel. She goes to a house. This household is like toxic, and then all this stuff kind of like secrets come out and like spirits spilling into the present, locked cabinets, blah blah blah. Sensation, chilling and groundbreaking psychological thriller. So next here I have 4 books about Norse mythology that I purchased because I've been like sort of working on this Viking novel, but I'm wanting to just like research everything and then have a better plan. So first we have the Saga of the Volsungs. It's has an anonymous writer from Iceland back in the day. Mythology, you know, stuff. Next we have the Elder Edda in the same edition, and this is just like more Norse mythology. That's like Viking lore, but I mean Viking is not the right word, but contemporarily that is what you would associate. Anyway, and so what happened with this order was I ordered this and a copy of the Prose Edda by Snorri Sturluson, but the first order, it just never showed up, and I was like, uh-oh, that's not good. So I emailed the lady and I was like, I didn't get my books, and she's like, oops, we've lost a lot of orders, so I'll just resend you some. And I was like, great. And then like 3 or 4 weeks later, these 2 came, and then another edition of the prose Edda came. So it's like somehow along the way in the first order, my elder Edda didn't end up with this, but it ended up at my house. And then this one is like the recent ones. So anyway, now I have 2 copies of this. So there's that. But yeah, so Viking, Norse mythology. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you, it's not actually a book per se, but it is a Kobo e-reader. Oh, you can see things are on it. So I had a Kobo Glow that was like 3 or 4 years old. And it died on me right before I went on a camping trip a few weeks ago, and I was like, crap, you gotta have an e-reader when you're camping because it has a backlight. And so you can sit in your tent or when it's dark and you can still read, and it's super convenient, and you only have to bring one thing on it instead of a bunch of books. So I was like, shoot! And so then I went out and purchased the Kobo Aura H2O and a sleep case. It turns it off when it closes, so you can see when I open it, it's like turning on. But yeah, so it's got lots of books on it, and I love this thing. I love e-readers. I know I have a lot of books, but e-readers are great for the summertime, and this one, it's a totally waterproof e-reader. I read in the bathtub a lot, so this is a lot safer than taking a book in. So I can sit here, and even if I drop this and the case into the water, as long as like there's like a little plug thing on the bottom to protect the electronics, as long as it's in, it's gonna be totally fine. You just gotta wipe it off and it's good to go. So haven't dropped it yet, but if I do, I'm prepared. But yeah, so those are the books I've acquired. Yeah, so in the comments below, let me know what your favorite book of the haul was. And if you said Harry Potter box set, you would be correct. Kidding aside, just let me know what your favorite book was and what you would recommend me reading first. Because I'm really bad at selecting which books to read first. That's the problem. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching my video. My name is Sarah, and I will see you guys soon with another video.